Happy morning, children. Today you are going to learn 7th standard term 3 history unit 1. The topic of this unit is new religious ideas and movements. Come, let's get into the video session. Unit 1, new religious ideas and movements. In this lesson you will learn about the devotional movements of Arvas and Nayanmas, Advaita philosophy of Adi Shankara, and Vishishtadvaita of Ramanuja, Bhakti cult in North India and its prominent exponents, interaction between Hinduism and Islam leading to the birth of new cults, notably Sufism, teaching of Kabir and Guru Nanak, impact of Bhakti movement. India saw an extraordinary production of devotional poetry, which were not restricted to one particular religion, but inspired by different religious movements. These movements viewed that the devotion to God could save man from the pitfalls of life and earn him salvation. They also believed that one does not have to go to temples or perform rituals, for God is omnipresent and resides inside every human. The Bhagavad Gita proposed that the path of Bhakti Marga, that is, the path of Bhakti, is superior to the other religious approaches, namely, the path of knowledge, that is, Janana, and the path of rituals and good works, that is, Karma, providing inspiration to the exponents of Bhakti cult. The beginnings. The Bhakti movement or the resurgence of devotional practices started in Tamil Nadu around 7th century AD. It included reciting the name of the god or goddess, singing hymns in their praise, wearing religious marks or carrying identity emblems, and undertaking pilgrimages to sacred places associated with the deity. Sufis believe that realization of God can be achieved only through passionate devotion to God and intense meditation. Sufis were of the view that this type of meditation would enable the devotee to understand the true nature of God. They argued that doing so would liberate and devotee from all worldly bonds and help them become one with God. Several mystical religious movements in both Hinduism and Islam had no hesitation to freely include elements of different faiths in their teaching. There is only one God. Though Hindus and Muslims call him by different names, it was stated by Haridasa. Devotional movement in Tamilagam, the Alvas and Nayanmas. The Alvas, the Vaishnavite Bhakti sages and the organizers of Bhakti cult, and the Nayanmas, the worshippers of Shiva or the Saivitis, composed devotional hymns in Tamil language dedicated to the respective gods. Shiva Bhakti is associated with Shiva's manifestations on the earth. Poems to Shiva and Vishnu, particularly to Krishna, were composed in Tamil and other southern Indian languages such as Kannada and Telugu. These poet saints criticized caste-based social status and advocated gender equality in order to make it good to stand the onslaught of Buddhism or Jainism. Vishnu Bhakti or Vaishnavism is based on Vishnu's avatars, particularly Krishna and Rama. The 12 Tamil Alvas are chiefly known for their immortal hymns. Two Alvas stand out distinctly for their contribution to the promotion of the Bhakti movement. Nammalvar's fame lies in his 1102 stanza Thiruvaimozhi. Nadamuni collected the 4000 poems of Nammalvar in the form of Divya Prabandham. Andal, the only female Alvar, is another. Periyalvar, who was early known as Vishnu Chittar, made lots of songs on Krishna, putting himself in the place of Mother Yasoda. Periyalvar is said to have found Andal as a baby in Tulsi garden at Sri Villibuttur temple and adopted her. She grew up in the temple town of Sri Villibuttur and became known as Andal. She Urul, the Tirupavai, that is the path to Krishna, and the Nachiyar Tirumozhi, the scared songs of the lady, are her celebrated works. Her poems expressed her love for Ranganatha, the incarnation of Vishnu worshipped at a temple at Srirangam, are used in Vaishnava wedding ceremonies in Tamil Nadu. Vaishnavite saints, 12 alvas. Three mutual alvas, Poigai Alvar, Boodathalvar, and Peyalvar. Other alvas, Thirumal Alvar, Periyalvar, Tondaradipudi Alvar, Thirumangai Alvar, Tiruppan Alvar, Kulasegara Alvar, Nammalvar, Madurakavi Alvar, and Andal. Saivadi saints, 63 Nayanmas. There are 63 legendary Nayanmas, among them Jnana Sambandar, Appar, and Sundarar are worshipped as saints through their images in South Indian temples. Nambi Andar Nambi is said to have compiled the songs of all the Nayanmas that form the basis of Tirumurai, the basic Tamil Saivite scat canon. It consists of 12 books and 11 of them were assembled by Nambi. The 12th book is Sekira's Periya Puranam. Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara preached the Advaita philosophy. The essence of this philosophy is that the soul, that is the Atma, unites with the universal soul, that is the Brahma, through the attainment of knowledge. He set up madhas, centers for learning and worship, at Badrinath, Puri, Dwarka, and Sringeri. These places have become prominent pilgrim centers today. Shankara enthusiastically endeavored to restore the orthodox Vedic tradition without paying attention to the Bhakti movement of his time. His masterpiece is the commentary on the Brahma Sutra, which is fundamental text of Vedanta school. His commentaries on the principal Upanishads are also considered equally important. Ramanuja. Ramanuja, 11th century Vaishnava saint, was the most influential thinker of Vaishnavism. His philosophy, known as Vishishtavaita, proclaims that the soul retains its identity even after uniting with Brahma. After a long time pilgrimage, Ramanuja settled in Srirangam. Ramanuja articulated ideas of social equality and condemned caste-based restrictions on entering the temples. He established centers to spread his doctrine of devotion, Sri Vaishnavism, to God Vishnu and his consort Lakshmi. In 16th and 17th centuries, Vaishnavism spread across India. The Vadagalai Vaishnavism originally flourished around Kanchipuram, which was a popular center for Sanskrit learning. Tengalai Vaishnavism centered on Srirangam. Vadagalai sect focused on Vedic literature, which is written in Sanskrit. The Tengalai sects stressed the importance of Divya Prabandhams written by the 12 Alvas in Tamil and in North India. During the 14th and 15th centuries in North India, two different attitudes which the Indo-religious leaders had towards Islam. One group accepted what was best in Islam, the other adopted a few elements in order to prevent conversion to Islam. Both reacted to Islam, but one was sympathetic while the other was hostile. Kabir and Guru Nanak and other founders of new sects are included in the first group, while the movement in Bengal associated with Chaitanya Deva or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu belongs to the later tendency. Exponents of Bhakti movement. It was Ramananda who spread the Bhakti ideology in North India, where it became a mass movement. Vallabhacharya, a Telugu philosopher, built a temple for Lord Krishna on Govardhan Hills near Madura. Sardas, a blind poet and musician, was associated with this temple as well as that of Agra. His famous collections of poetry is called Sarsagar. Wife of the Crown Prince of Mewar, was an ardent devotee of Lord Krishna. She was a disciple of Ravidas. Mirabai gained popularity through her bhajans. Chaitanya Deva popularized Krishna worship through songs and dancing that had a profound effect on Vaishnavism in Bengal. In 16th century, in Tulasidas Hindu retelling of the story of Rama in the Ramcharitramanas, the sentiment of friendship and loyalty is stressed. Many of those poems continue to be recitated and sung often at all night celebration. A 17th century saint poet of Maharashtra is known for his spiritual songs devoted to Vithoba, an avatar of Krishna. There is a Vithoba Panduranga temple at Pandarpur. It also called as Pandaripuram in Sholapur district, Maharashtra. How Chaitanya Deva is to Bengal, like that Tukaram is to Maharashtra. Sufism in India. Sufism adopted many native Indian concepts such as yogic postures, music, and dance. Sufism found adherents among both Muslims and Hindus. The word Sufi takes its origin from Saf, meaning the wool. Sufis wore coarse garments made of wool and hence they were called Sufis. Sufism was basically Islamic but was influenced by Hindu and Buddhist ideas. It rejected the stringent contact code of ulemas. Sufis lived in hermitages akin to monasteries and functioned outside society. Sufis in medieval India were divided into three major orders. They were Shishti, Suharwadi, and Firdausi. Moinuddin Chishti made Chisti's order popular in India. He died in Ajmer and his resting place is in Ajmer Sharif Dargah in Ajmer, Rajasthan. Nizamuddin Aluya of the Chisti order, who had a large number of followers among the ruling class in Delhi. Poet Amir Khusro was one of his distinguished followers. Suharwadi order was founded by an Iranian Sufi, Abdul Wahid Abu Najib. The Firdausi order was a branch of Suharwadi order and its activities were confined to Bihar. Kabir. Kabir came under the influence of Varanasi-based Saint Ramananda. He accepted some Hindu ideas and tried to reconcile Hinduism and Islam. He believed that God is one and formless, even though different religious sects give him different names and forms. He opposed discriminations on the basis of religion, caste, and wealth. He also condemned meaningless rituals. Kabir's verses were composed in Bhojpuri language mixed with Urdu. The Kabir's Grandhavali and the Bijak contain collections of Kabir's verses. Guru Nanak, born in a village near Lahore in 1469, showed interest in religious discussions with other saints right from his early childhood. His parents were keen to involve him in worldly life, but he was inclined towards spiritualism. He visited many holy places and finally settled in Kartarpur near Lahore. He died there in 1539. To mark the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak, a corridor is being constructed by the Indian government. that will link the Nanak Shrine in Gurdaspur with Gurudwara Darbar Sahib at Kartarpur in Pakistan. Guru Nanak's teachings. Guru Nanak preached that God is without form and wanted his followers to practice meditation upon the name of God for peace and ultimate salvation. He is considered the first Guru by the Sikhs. Guru Nanak had great contempt for Vedic rituals and caste discrimination. The teachings of Guru Nanak formed the basis of Sikhism, a new religious order founded in the late 15th century. His and his successors' teachings are collected in Guru Granth Sahib, which is the holy book of Sikhs. Guru Nanak's teachings were spread through the group singing of hymns called Kirtan. The devotees gathered in dharmastalas, that is the rest houses, which became Gurudwaras in course of time. Guru Nanak nominated his disciple Lekhna to succeed him as the Guru. Following his precedent, the successors are named by the incumbent Singh Guru. At the time of Guru Gobind Singh, the custom of Pahul, that is, baptism by sweetened water stirred with a dagger, was introduced. Those who got baptized became the members of disciplined brotherhood known as Khalsa. Meaning of Khalsa is the pure. Every men were given the title Singh, that is the lion. Every member of the Khalsa had to have 5 distinct things on his person. These were Kesh, means uncut hair; Kanga, Kanga means comb; Kirban, Kirban means dagger; Kada is a steel bangle; and Kanjira is an underpants. After Guru Gobind Singh, the holy book Guru Granth Sahib is considered the Guru and its message is spread by the Khalsa. Now we will see the impact of religious Bhakti movement. Vedic Hinduism was regenerated and thus saved from the onslaught of Islam. The Islamic tenets, unity of God and universal brotherhood emphasized by the saints, promoted harmony and peace. Bhakti was a movement of the common people. It used the language of common people for its devotional literature. Bhakti movement opened up space for Indian languages to grow. It stimulated literary activity in regional languages. Despite the decline of Sanskrit on this period, it was supported and extended by the rulers of Hindu kingdoms. Tamil was the only ancient Indian language remained vibrant during this period, but ethos of Tamil literature in medieval time had changed. In the classical period, it had secular literature depicting the everyday life, its joys and sorrows. But under the influence of devotional cults, it emphasized shifted to religion and religious literature. Caste system and social disparities came to be criticized. Students, let's recall what we have learnt so far. The Bhakti movement is explained, and the Alvas initiatives followed by Nayanmars in Tamil countries are described in this lesson. Adi Shankara's Advaita philosophy and Ramanujar Vishishtadvaita philosophy are explained. The devotional paths of saints, notably Tulsidas and Mirabai in northern India and Chaitanya Deva in Bengal, are examined. Mutual influence of Islam and Hinduism and birth of Sufism, Sikhism and mystical Hinduism are discussed in brief. Radical versions of Bhakti movement, contribution of Kabir and Guru Nanak were detailed. Features of Bhakti movement and also the impact of the Bhakti movement on the medieval Indian society is also analyzed. Children, hope you would understand this lesson. Thank you.